Nubs, little bird with a big story. That is a neat. Where did the idea come from, Kristen?
Well, Nubs was actually rescued along with hundreds of other birds from a home of a hoarder here in Aurora, Illinois. And it was a huge news story locally here, but also it made media all across the country. So this is about 2 years ago in the fall of 2013 or 2012. And Nubs, out of all those birds that were very wild, and these were all birds flying loose in this home, and when all the birds were rescued, all of the birds were wild except for one, a little tiny, very inbred, very, very small parakeet that was missing a foot. He was handicapped. Huh. And so I nicknamed him. I was one of the volunteers to help in the rescue. And I nicknamed him Nubs, just to keep him straight from all the other birds and have a way to identify him. But shockingly, he was extremely friendly. And the more I was telling different people, friends and family and some kids that I volunteered with about this phenomenon, about how this one little bird out of all these other birds was friendly, they were really fascinated how a bird could come from such a really tough start and kind of born into an unfair situation, and why he would be so brave and so friendly and so sweet with people. It just didn't make sense. And so I realized that story was resonating with people, and so we wrote it up into a book about his rescue and his survival and the way that he's taking a new chance at life.
How about that? Kristen Lovick, our special guest here on our Johnson Ford guest line, founder of Nubs and children's book author. Also, there's a second book, Remy, huh?
Yeah, it's Remy, a little bird with a big imagination. And the story of Remy is also a rescue bird. So this is what our organization does now. We write the stories of rescued animals to help build resiliency in children, which is something that everybody needs, right?
Excuse me, Kristen. Now, I'm jumping in for a second because I thought that was a nice segue into making or showing children about the resiliency through these inspirational stories about the birds, right?
That's exactly right, because these animals have all been through tough situations, and as long as we can tell them in a child-friendly way, then children can look at these stories and think, you really don't have to explain to them that this is similar to some of their circumstances. But when you've been through the death of a parent, a divorce, even a natural disaster or abuse, to be able to look at another animal look at any creature that's been through something tough and be able to role model for that. So we kind of grab their attention by the idea that it's an animal, and that's exciting, and the birds are really cute. But what we're kind of hiding in there is a message that we think they can internalize and help them the next time they go through a tough situation, because everybody does in life. But they're going to remember, wait a minute, Nubs went through something tough too, but he gave life one more try, and that's what we're asking kids to do, is just not give up.
Our special guest, Kristen Love, right here on our Johnson Ford guest line. That is very intriguing, very interesting. Now, this is a nonprofit organization, and you assist. Obviously, you look for situations where you can be of assistance for, I presume, more than just a bird or the other form of animals.
Well, yeah, we have a lot of animals in the House of Nubs. The House of Nubs is our home, and it's a place where animals can get a second chance of life. We are not a rescue, but we do have a set of animals that people loyally follow us on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram, and watch the stories of these animals and see how they're progressing. And we definitely, as you mentioned, kind of look for opportunities to help. So, for example, last fall we went down to the Moore, Oklahoma and Kearney, Oklahoma areas to visit with kids who are survivors of a large tornado that struck down there a couple of years ago, just to help continue them along on their path of healing and coping with that trauma. So locally we volunteer with foster kids and in schools and libraries. But a lot of what happens with Nubs is online. So wherever you are in the country, We offer books. We also have activity workbooks that will be launching this fall with resiliency building activities. And we are going to have supported videos launching at the same time, too. So the idea is if you're a parent or a teacher, you can participate in this from anywhere.
Absolutely. Give us that website, please.
Oh, yeah, it's houseofnubs.org. And there are buttons there to get anywhere you want to be. All things Nubs are right there, so you can get there very easily with the click of a button.
How about that? So houseofnubs.org. The book is a little bird with a big story. Nubs, the little bird with a big story. And, Kristen, what else do you think might be of interest to our listeners?
Well, coming up next, we're going to be launching our third book, which is about a dog and his sort of adoption of his own of a traumatized, an abused bunny named Pigeon. And that book is going to be called Miles, a Little Dog with an Eye for Friendship. And that'll be launching later this summer. And then the full wings up curriculum, whether you're a parent or a teacher or maybe a Sunday school teacher or a daycare worker, anybody that would like to add resiliency into their curriculum along with reading and writing and things like that, but to have that tool as well of also building a child's well-being, please reach out to us because we can definitely let you know how to access our materials. We can offer wholesale pricing. We can do things like that for anybody who is interested. And, of course, we are a nonprofit, so that would be a tax-deductible donation.
Well, what's next?
It's a win-win.
It is win-win. What's next on the horizon?
Next on the horizon is going to be the big launch this fall. We're going to be piloting the full, what we call our Wings Up curriculum, which are our books, our resiliency building activities, and our videos are all going to be piloting in 4 locations this fall, and we're ready to roll it out to the rest of the world. So that's kind of the big thing. We're just going to keep writing books and telling stories and helping kids and see where we get from here.
Kristen Lovegood, our special guest author, and head of the Nubs, houseofnubs.org is the website. Kristen, before we let you go, the book is, we got it up on our website, radiobookshelf.com. You can take a peek there. But how about bookstores and other places the books available?
Right now where we're available is through our website, houseofnubs.org, and also through Amazon are the 2 locations.
Okay, and but we want to let we have a lot of folks that goes to our radiobookshelf.com. You may not even be aware that we've put it up there, but we certainly something that's we like to do for our authors when we interview them here.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
And we certainly wish you the very best. Any final thoughts for our listeners before we let you go?
Thank you so much for having us on the program. We really appreciate it, and we just encourage everyone with a child in their life to encourage their resiliency. It's something we all need, and we hope that our books can help make a small difference in those children's lives.
Well, we appreciate so very much you taking time to visit with us. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, you take care.
You too. Bye-bye, Kristen. All right, Kristen, love you. We'll Nubs. House of Nubs. That's interesting. I love stuff like that. You stay with us. We'll be back.
Are you looking for a new pharmacy? How about a pharmacy that cares about you and your well-being? Century Pharmacy, located at 7531 Mayo Street in Century, your local health